Hello everybody, Ethan back here with another video, ready to talk to you guys about a number of different ways that I fail to find rest in my day-to-day life. And that can be actual sleep or it can be a different kind of rest. And we're going to go over that in these next three little areas that I find difficulty with in resting and that you might be able to relate to. So let's get into it. The first one is not setting time aside in my life to rest. I think for me that goes mainly for the Sabbath. I know a lot of people don't Sabbath, but I kind of grew up doing it, but I didn't ever really take it seriously until college because I realized just how much I needed that Sabbath rest. If I don't have the Sabbath rest, then I'm always doing homework, always worrying, and it's a lot harder to find times to rest when you don't stick to a certain day where you just don't do homework, you don't do your typical work at all that entire day. And I know it sounds like you're like, I'm so busy, I don't have enough time, this and that. I think those are, to be as kind as I can, those are just excuses for doing something that you think you don't want to do, but really, I guarantee you want to do it because I look forward to that Sunday where I know I just don't have to do any work and God provides for it. When you honor God through that, God provides for it throughout the rest of the week. I always get my homework done, and even if I don't, I get it done, after that Sunday. But it also helps you work harder the other 6 days of the week to get your work done so that you can just take a breath, relax, and spend time with God on that Sunday. So I think having the discipline to set that day aside for God, honor it, don't do work. God blesses that, especially because it's a command from Jesus to take a Sabbath. Another way I fail to find rest is when I'm constantly prioritizing homework and schoolwork and academia and all that over rest. I mean, my entire life I've been performing, always trying to get straight A's, always trying to do the absolute best, not accepting anything less than perfection. And that is corrosive to your emotional, mental, and spiritual health. And when you're focused constantly on doing your homework, making sure your homework's like the top priority of your life, studying as well, you're going to find yourself kind of pushing back. Maybe if you had a bedtime, pushing it back and back every week because you have more and more homework to do, and then you're getting less sleep and your body's more susceptible to disease and stuff like that. Or even if you try and take a time of rest like Sunday, you connect your identity with how you perform in school, so you're going to constantly be thinking about your homework, and that's going to take away from the rest that you do give, or the rest that you're trying to give yourself during some specific time, specific day. So I think if you can learn to separate who you are, your identity, from what you do academically and how you do academically, it's a lot easier to allow yourself to have times of real rest from constantly worrying about those things. And last but not least, I think this one isn't talked about very much, but there is the idea of spiritual unrest. And I think that the constant busyness of our life and our desire not to really think about the fact that we need spiritual rest creates within us a level of spiritual unrest. And I think this time, spiritual rest is something that's God-given. It's something that we have to go to God to seek. But if we're busy all the time, we're not going to seek it from God. We're not going to seek God himself. And so we're not going to get that spiritual rest that we need. And I think spiritual unrest can be way more destructive than even physical unrest or emotional stuff like that, because your spiritual life is, connected to your physical life. And I think it's what drives a lot, if not everything that we do. And it drives the most direct relationship we have to God. So I think if you seek out spiritual rest from God and you focus on finding times in your day or sometime during the week to sit down and embrace the spiritual rest that God can give you, you can have a lot more peace in your life and be a whole lot more restful. So I hope this all worked well for you guys. I hope you could relate on some level, maybe on one, two, if not all of them. And if you enjoyed that, I think continue to watch our YouTube, watch all our other videos from our other ambassadors, and have a great rest of your day, night, week, all that jazz.